It's been a long time since I've been legitimately excited for a Mario game. Last time that happened was Galaxy 2. It's been 7 years since then, and for my favorite series of platformers to not excite me, that's a problem. The games released since then haven't been bad, they just didn't push the series forward like they should have. Mario 3D Land was super easy, not even that fun to me, but hey, it was a 3DS game, so it didn't really matter. But then 3D World came along and it just felt like more of a 3DS game. It's not even a bad game. When you go from something with the grand scale and quality of Galaxy, to essentially a sequel to a 3DS game as the main Mario game on the system, it just felt like a step backwards. And then the Switch was revealed and we got glimpses of a new Mario game for it. New Nintendo system, new Mario. That was expected. But when it was later revealed this would be a non-linear 3D Mario in the style of 64 and Sunshine, they got my interest. Then E3 2017 happened and the hype was so goddamn real. They revealed new areas and the ability to possess enemies, and you can tell they were trying to make a game that was truly special. Jump Up Superstar too. Can't forget about that infinitely marketable song. At that point I barely looked at any new gameplay or promotional material. I was sold. I didn't need anything else. I just needed to know who to write this blank check out to. The E3 trailer is up there with that final Breath of the Wild trailer as one of the best game trailers ever made, and comes with an equally fitting thumbnail. Here's what the game is, here's some cool stuff. Buy it to become a frog. Or T-Rex, but who cares about that? The week leading up to the game felt like forever. Reviews were coming out and they were throwing 10s at this game like they were going out of style. The wait for the game might not have been as long as Breath of the Wild, but the hype was the same. This was going to be the Mario 64 successor we've been wanting since Sunshine. Not to mention that it's portable thanks to the infinite hype machine that is the Switch. But first, there's gonna be minor gameplay spoilers all over the place. You really need to play this game. I walked in as blind as possible and I was so glad I did. Enough talk, let's jump into this. Peach has been kidnapped for the bazillionth time, go save her. Alright, there's actually more to it this time. The game starts off with what seems like a final conversation with Bowser, but Bowser throws his hat Mario Oddjob style, and Mario gets launched into God knows where. Bowser's latest scheme is an attempt to marry Peach. Bowser, you already did that in Super Paper Mario. Look how that turned out. Maybe do something that doesn't cause a giant black hole to swallow up the multiverse. Mario wakes up in the Hat Kingdom, where he meets the creatively named Cappy. In my ukulele review, I jokingly called Cappy Hattie. That was before we even knew what Cappy was, and most importantly, that was a joke. I didn't think I'd be so close with the name, and honestly, I didn't want to be. Bowser's also kidnapped Cappy's sister Tiara, who's currently resting on Peach's head. Cappy, being some weird ghost hat thing, becomes Mario's hat and gives him the ability to possess enemies. After getting Cappy's ship repaired, it's up to Mario and Cappy to travel around the world in the Odyssey to save Peach and Tiara, stop the wedding, and honestly just humiliate Bowser in the process. It's not the deepest story ever, but it's more than most Mario games, and quite frankly, it works. Bowser's not the only villain either, because we've got Bowser's wedding planners to worry about. The Brutals. Wait, we've got dangerous bunnies to worry about now? What's next? Murderous teddy bears? They don't really have much personality, but at least they're not the Koopalings again. Besides, they have some really cool designs. But really though, the Koopalings have been done to death at this point. I'll take whatever new villains we can get. But my god, this game is gorgeous. Mario has individual hairs and pores. Everything looks detailed while still looking cartoony, and it fits Mario so damn well. It even has an ounce of realism mixed in, and oh god, it's so good. The water effects look awesome too. All at a locked 60 frames per second. That frame rate rarely dips too. It sometimes does in New Donk City, but that's only in the post-game. Dare I say, this is the best looking Switch game so far. Fingers crossed that Prime 4 gives this game a run for his money. I mean, Jesus, just have Prime 1's old direction made for HD- Okay, getting off topic. I like Metroid if it wasn't obvious by my outro. I love the game's world tour vibe it has going on too. Maps are tour guides that have travel information on the kingdom you're in. You buy souvenirs of local currency at gift shops, and there's even a photo mode to take pictures like you do when you're traveling. Not to mention the game's cover that just looks like a scrapbook was dumped onto a table. This game has some awesome music too. My favorites being from Bubble Lane, Steam Gardens, and of course Jump Up Superstar. For the first time ever, a vocal track was made specifically for this game. Jump Up Superstar was even sung by Kate Higgins, the current voice of Tails. Just imagine telling some 90s kid that one day Tails would sing a vocal Mario track. I didn't even play a Sonic game until Unleashed and I still wouldn't have believed you. And it's a damn amazing song, like wow Nintendo, you need to do these vocal tracks more often. Now for the main event, the gameplay. You remember Super Mario 64, right? Think that, but better. Like way, way better. After 3D Mario sticking to being linear for the last decade, oh my god, Mario Galaxy is 10 years old. Feeling all aside, Mario is back to the sandboxy Mario 64 and Sunshine style of gameplay. The main collectible this time are Power Moons, and they're goddamn everywhere. There's seriously a Power Moon around every corner of these kingdoms, and it's fantastic. So, how many of these things are there? The usual 120? What about Galaxy's 240? Try 999. 999 power moons. Oh man, someone get me a towel, I can barely handle this. There's technically 880 moons, but you can buy more moons with the coins in the post game and make the count go up to 999. Make of that what you will, but I count the true total as 999 moons. Power moons work like the Jiggies from Banjo-Kazooie. You collect one of these things and the level doesn't end. You can keep playing without being kicked out to a hub world. Collecting these are your only requirement to continuing on in the game. You don't even have to finish the story missions in each kingdom, and it really just makes the game a lot more flexible for subsequent playthroughs. The moon requirements aren't extravagant either, so you can skip a lot of the game if you feel like it. A lot of the game is optional, and that really helps with replayability. You have 5 save files too. Still annoying about Breath of the Wild's 1 save per profile. Some of these moons are damn well hidden too. Luckily, you don't have to go out of your way to find them most of the time. They're usually pretty straightforward to find if you look hard enough. A really nice touch for these is that their color is different in each kingdom. They even picked a color that really stands out against the environment, making them easier to be on the lookout for. Collecting these moons feel really fun to find and collect. Even though there's almost 1,000 of these damn things, I still wanted to collect them all. I'm currently sitting at around 700 moons, and while it might take a while, I'm going to find all of them. It's just that much fun to do. Just moving around in the game is fun as hell. Mario is the most agile he's ever been in Odyssey. All of his standard moves are here. You know, triple jumps, wall jumps, long jumps, the works. The new moves are where Odyssey really shines though. Throwing Cappy is not only a means of attack, but it's also a form of movement. You can hold the button down and Cappy hovers in place, letting you walk up to him for an instant backflip. You can do this while in the air too, and along with diving, you quickly realize how Mario can just scale walls and gaps with ease in this game. It's insane how much control you have over Mario this time around, and it really makes the game that much more fun to play. This game is a speedrunner's wet dream. There's so much crazy stuff you can do in this game, and it's absolutely insane. The controls felt weird to me at first because I was used to the older games, but once I got used to them and eventually mastered them, they felt absolutely incredible. The controls really improved the game's fun factor. Mario hasn't felt this fluid since Sunshine. Hell, there's even 2D sections where you take control of 8-bit Mario. This is a really cool way of transitioning between 2D and 3D. The only flaw with this game, however, is the controls. I'm not talking about the button controls. Those work like a dream. No, I'm talking about the motion controls. Mario Odyssey includes some mostly optional motion controls, and I have no idea why they can't just be tied to a button. Why do I need to shake the controller to climb poles faster? Why can't I just press X or Y instead? Why do I need to press Z or and then Y to do a dive? Why can't this just be its own button? There were too many times where I ground pounded when I meant to dive. This is a minor issue though, and it never diminished the game for me. This is fixable, and the game could really use some button mapping. Enough negativity. We can't forget about Cappy's ability to let Mario possess whatever he throws his hat at. It feels really cool being able to play as these Mario enemies after all these years. Why swim around in Mario when you can just swim around as a Cheep Sheep? Or take a ride in lava as a lava bubble? Or go into a third-person aiming mode as a tank? Or take control of a goddamn T-Rex? Or as a frog? Oh my god, I can play as a frog in this game? Where do I pre-order? Just about all of these captures. Captures. Control really well and really spice up the gameplay. This really makes me feel like I'm playing a Kirby game all of a sudden. I'm not killing everything inside, but at least I'm taking the abilities of others and using them for my own selfish reasons. Mario's shape isn't the only thing changing either, because you can actually buy different clothes in this game. The best part about these shops is a really depressed shopkeeper.
I just want to.
Yeah, working retail will do that to you. We've got a really nice variety of clothes here. From sombreros and ponchos to pirate clothes and a chef outfit to... Scatman? I can't be the only person who remembers videos where Mario runs around with blee bada bada bo running in the background. We've come full circle. There's even outfits referencing other Mario games like Mario Paint and Mario Maker. They even put in the Hyper-American Golf outfit. There's even an outfit for that one Game Boy Donkey Kong commercial. But honestly, nothing beats playing as Mario in his underwear. Some outfits can only be bought with purple coins, which are also all over the damn place. Each kingdom has its own differently shaped purple coin. There's 50 to 100 of these things in each kingdom. Purple coins can also be used to buy souvenirs that are placed in the Odyssey. With how many cool outfits there are in this game, it really makes it hard to wear the default outfit. By a show of hands, how many people actually play with the default outfit? I do.
No one asked you, Kevin. You didn't even raise your hand.
The different kingdoms in Odyssey are amazing too. There really isn't a single kingdom I didn't like. The level of variety is just the icing on the cake. From the muted colors of the Hat Kingdom, to the Sand Kingdom with its inverted floating pyramids, and even the Wooded Kingdom where technology and nature seems to coexist with each other, there's a lot of variety here. They were all fun to explore, and even the two water kingdoms felt completely different from each other. But we can't forget about New Donk City, because despite the lack of enemies to fight, this is honestly the best level in the game. This place is absolutely redonkulous. This is for the greater good, it has to be. It just feels so good moving around this place, they're never short of ways to traverse it. You can jump off of taxis, launch yourself with traffic cones, use power lines, while jumping between buildings. There's just so many options of movement in this kingdom. I've always wanted a level in Mario that's hilariously realistic. I just love how everyone has realistic proportions and Mario just looks the same as he always does. It really reminds me of Station Square from Sonic Adventure. There's no shortage of content here either. You can drive OC cars, dance with street performers, play slots, raise the ESOB rating because you just played slots, become friends with a lonely guy sitting on a bench, play damn jump rope and never manage to do it 100 times in a row to get that damn second moon, and even more than that. With it being whole New York City, they really put up a lot of Donkey Kong references. There's streets named after characters, gooters that look like the ones in the original game, and straight up ads for Donkey Kong. And in case you're wondering whatever happened to Pauline, she's now the mayor of New York City. It makes sense why she was never invited for Gold Coast or tennis. She's mayor of a big city, she doesn't have time for this crap. It's not like Peach does anything for the Mushroom Kingdom anyway. Pauline's a singer too, and she canonically sings Jump Up Superstar. Jesus, how does this woman have time to breathe? With how much they showed off New Donk City, you'd think it would be one of the earlier kingdoms, but no. It's actually fairly late in the game. It may have been a bit later than I was expecting, but it was worth the wait anyway. But my god, how Jump Up Superstar was actually used in-game is nothing short of magical. You play through a Donkey Kong 8-bit level as the start of the show for Pauline's concert. It may not sound like much, but you can just tell how much care was put into this. I was practically tearing up during this sequence because of how genuinely crafted it felt. There's nothing really special going on here other than the 8-bit Donkey Kong in the end, but you can just feel the passion that went into this sequence while we play it, and it was one of the major highlights for me. I really didn't want to spoil this for anyone because it's just that good. Anyway, time for the endgame. So it's finally time to head to Bowser's Kingdom. Bowser's Castle has a cool feudal Japan style this time, and it really adds to the level variety in this game. There's nothing too special here, but there's this new enemy you can capture that lets you scale certain walls with his beak. You fight two of the Brutals again, and it's finally time to fight Bowser. Or so it seems. Bowser runs off with Peach. To the moon? I'm sure he's exaggerating. Regardless, the Brutals go full Power Rangers on you ass and fight you with a freaking Megazord. Kind of. This is probably the best boss in the game. You use the boot thing from before to climb on the wooden post, then you can get on top to ground pound one of the Brutals' cockpits. This fight is really fun because of how many different ways you can climb up this thing. Seriously, watch the speedrun of this game, it's insane. After kicking the Brutals' asses again, time to follow Bowser. And yes, the final area of the game is the goddamn moon. Complete with low gravity. We went from entire galaxies to just the moon, and yet it still feels awesome. The first time you visit, there's this ominous bell ringing in the distance that kinda reminds me of Majora's Mask. And of course, it's coming from a damn cathedral. On the moon! Before fighting Bowser, you have to go through the underground moon caves, and it's a great final level. There was this rockin' music in the background, it's a cool test of your capture abilities up until this point. After that, you're finally at the cathedral where Bowser and Peach are about to engage in unholy matrimony. Why is there so much white? What is this, Castle Oblivion?
It doesn't matter.
Excuse me, I'm trying to conduct a wedding here, which has nothing to do with love.
The entire wedding party was forced to be here? That's kinda sad, actually. Wow, I kinda feel bad for Bowser and his lack of friends. Not even his own son showed up! I mean, I know Peach isn't really your mama, but damn kid, just show up to your dad's wedding. It's finally time for the big confrontation with Bowser. And it's just a harder version of when he fought him from earlier in the game. That's pretty lame. I mean, really, the final boss just seems kinda lazy. It's not a bad fight, but it's just the same fight from before. But harder. You kick his ass and the day is saved. Yet again, surprise, surprise, wait, we've got giant moonwalks falling from the sky, oh god, what's going on? Mario, Peach, and Bowser fall down in the moon caves and the whole place is collapsing. Great. With Bowser knocked unconscious, you know what that means. We get to play as Bowser and it feels so damn awesome. Bowser feels fast and agile, and slashing through walls while the whole place is collapsing feels fantastic. This last section of the game makes up for the disappointing final boss. This is the real final stretch. Too bad it doesn't last long. There aren't any enemies to fight either, which is a shame. What if we got some beat 'em up level where we played as freaking Bowser? DLC maybe? The second vocal track, which by the way sounds like it's ripped straight from an anime, is a cool surprise. Well, glad that's over. No, is Mario about to propose to oh, Bowser's going to propose? I mean, she seemed pretty against the idea of the whole game. Makes sense to me. Bowser and Mario fight over for a good 10 seconds before Peach turns them both down. Wait a damn minute. Peach, you're telling me that after all this, you don't want to marry anyone? Fair enough. Wait, are Mario and Peach even dating? I mean, sure, he rescues her constantly, but the most he's ever gotten is a kiss on the cheek and hand-holding. Actually, just get that out of here. I don't want this video flagged. They're obviously friends, but her turning him down makes me think she's never had any real feelings for him. Which would explain a lot, actually. I guess that cake she baked actually was a cake. So, the game's over now, isn't it? Oh, you naive child. Post-game Super Mario Odyssey is absolutely massive. Going back to each kingdom gives you bucket loads more to do because these weird cubes that you've been seeing around can finally be activated and gives you new moons to find in every kingdom. There was no real goal in the post-game, just collect more power moons. The game's excuse is that Cappy loved traveling around with you so much that he doesn't want the good times to end. Honestly, whatever works. There's even more kingdoms to visit now as well. The first being the Mushroom Kingdom. The Mushroom Kingdom is basically just a giant Super Mario 64 tribute and it's fantastic. You collect power stores instead of power moons, complete with the Mario 64 jingle. You can jump into paintings to fight boss rematches that are harder than the original, again with the Mario 64 jingle. Jesus Christ, you even get on top of the castle and find Yoshi on the roof. You can't ride him, but it's a cool Easter egg. Oh my god, you can capture him.
It's goddamn brilliant.
He actually plays really similar to how he did in the DS version, which is really cool to those who like me who grew up with the DS version. You can even chase around a rabbit in the hedge maze just like in the DS version. Oh my god, they do care about 64DS. That's not all the fan service in this kingdom either. There's a tree that looks like the one from the beginning of 3D Land. The castle is a hodgepodge of all his previous incarnations. You can destroy these stumps of the moat to drain the water, and you can buy the goddamn Mario 64 model as a costume. This gives you access to the courtyard, which is just ripped straight from Mario 64, textures and all. If you thought a lot of love and care was put in the game before, you haven't seen anything until this one level. You can even go inside the castle and look up to the skylight to get a star.
It's so beautiful.
You can talk to Toadette and get stars for essentially achievement. Why am I saying essentially? They straight up call them achievements. Achieved world peace. Just show this to some 90s kid and see their minds explode in a beautiful Michael Bay-ass explosion. Everything looks better, but Mario stayed the same. Makes sense. At least I got world peace out of this. There's more story though, and Peach has been kidnapped again. Oh, you kidding me? Oh, you trying to break your own record, Peach? Because they haven't broken it yet, and that's pretty sad. Oh, wait. She hasn't been kidnapped? She just left? Peach just straight up left, and now she's traveling the world like you are. And you know, Peach is weirdly independent in this game. She just wanders around the world with Fiora on her own accord, just straight up rejects Mario as a husband. For a girl that gets kidnapped so much, she can take care of herself surprisingly well. Good for her. As for the other new kingdoms, there's nothing too special. With 300 moons, you unlock the dark side of the moon. Someone's been listening to too much Pink Floyd. As far as I know, it's just a boss rush for the Brutals, but there's apparently 24 moons here, so I'm probably wrong about that. I haven't beaten it myself yet because it's really damn hard. At 500 moons, you unlock the darker side of the moon. So, you thought the perfect run was hard? You thought Champion's Road was hard? The darker side of the moon is the hardest level in the entire series. It's long, hard, and has no checkpoints. It's doable, but not without a ton of practice first. I haven't beat this yet either, but I'm really glad they put in these super hard challenges at the end of the game. But it's a nice challenge for those who want it. As for the other remote moons, I have no idea. I've only got about 700 of these things, and I want to find out what the completion rewards are for myself. Yeah, I could Google it, but that really takes the fun out of it. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Super Mario honestly wants you to play as much of it as you want. If you want to just play the game normally, you can finish it in 8 to 12 hours, but going for 100% really can take 40 plus hours. Just the icing on this cake. What really makes a masterpiece of a game? In my opinion, not only has to be an outstanding game at its release, but it also has to be a fantastic game years later. The reason why I don't give scores is because, at the end of the day, they're meaningless. Something that might be a 10 out of 10 now might just be a 6 out of 10 a few years down the line. What's a 6 out of 10 even mean, really? Mediocre, above average, good? Depends on who you ask. When I say Super Mario Odyssey is a masterpiece, I don't mean that lightly. I really feel like 10 plus years from now we'll look back and still love this game. I'm actively trying to find real flaws with this game and I simply can't. The best I can come up with is that they forgot Luigi. This is the kind of game that makes you fall in love with games. Everything is just so lovingly fine-tuned and crafted to make a truly outstanding game. Treasure this game. A game like Super Mario Odyssey doesn't come around very often. This is one for the history books. This has been that Flame Assassin guy, and do yourself a favor. Buy a Switch. It's so worth it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next mission.